What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and in today's video I will be counting down my picks for the top 10 hottest Pokemon cards of 2024. Now when I say hottest cards of 2024, I don't necessarily mean cards that were released in 2024, but more like the cards that gained tremendous popularity and had a significant increase in value over the course of this year. So this will be a healthy mixture of not only Sword and Shield cards, but also Scarlet and Violet cards, and notable promo cards as well. May I just say, this top 10 video is brought to you by the one and only KantoShark.com. The Kanto Shark marketplace has been firing on all cylinders this past week, selling some very desirable graded crystal cards, beautiful gold star cards, shining Pokemon, and some minty base set Zards. But no worries, because their inventory is always being replenished with tasty new grails just for you. They offer worldwide shipping and payment plans available for anything above $500. A link to the Kanto Shark website will be in the description of this video. Alright everybody, these are the top 10 hottest cards in my opinion. I've been seeing these cards come through with the auction recaps and they just keep climbing and climbing in value. Let's start off with the number 10 hottest card of the year. I believe it is the Magikarp Illustration Rare from Paldea Evolved. This card was selling over the summer for about $510 as a PSA 10. The most recent sale of this card was for about $840 for a Magikarp. When I heard this set was coming out, Paldea Evolved, I thought, geez, this set is being headlined by a Magikarp? I mean, how good is that going to do? Turns out really well. Both the English and Japanese versions of this card are extremely popular. This English copy right here is by far the most expensive of the two and the number 10 hottest card on our list. Coming in number 9, we have one of the two best cards from Paldean Fates. It is this special illustration rare Charizard EX that just a few months ago was selling as a PSA 10 for about $208. But more recently, these Paldean Fates cards have been skyrocketing in value as a PSA 10 copy sells for more like $461. Not all Charizards from the Scarlet and Violet era have been hitting huge numbers, but this Zard right here has been climbing over the past couple of months, making it the number 9 hottest card of the year. The number 8 hottest card of 2024 is no stranger to top 10 lists. It is the Umbreon VMAX Special Illustration Rare, a card we see breaking records all the time. This year is no exception. Just a few months ago, folks, this card was selling as a PSA 10 for $1,100, but more recently has sold for over $1,800. A card that has been out for over 3 years now, has well over 10,000 PSA 10 examples, is nearly $2,000 in value. That, folks, is a true testament to how popular and iconic this card is. It is 2024 and it is still on fire. It is the number 8 card on the list. The number 7 card took me by surprise, much like the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. This one here is the Greninja EX Special Illustration Rare from Twilight Masquerade. A set we thought was going to fall flat, ended up shooting out this Greninja EX, and right out of the gate, this card was selling for $460 as a PSA 10. More recently has climbed all the way up to $760. And I think this set's only been out for, what, 5 months? A little over 5 months. And yeah, it just keeps getting higher and higher. People love this card. It's one of the most popular cards of the year and the number 7 hottest on our list. The number 6 hottest card, in my opinion, would have to be this Charmander promo from the Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer box. And I don't mean this regular Elite Trainer box promo, which still sells for quite a bit, selling for over $120 as a PSA 10. But I am actually talking about the Pokemon Center version of this card that, 6 months ago was selling for about $400. More recently has sold for $820. The price of this card has more than doubled in less than 6 months. So yeah, for some reason people just cannot get enough of this Charmander promo. It does ooze with character, I will give you that. It is the number 6 hottest card of the year. Coming in number 5, we have an alt art card from the Sword and Shield era. It is the Giratina V alt art from Lost Origin. This card is a PSA 10 was sitting at about $635. More recently, this card has been getting sale after sale, selling for over $1,000. Here's one that sold for $1,025, $1,050, $1,225. The value of this alt art just keeps climbing. It is by far the most valuable card from Lost Origin and the number 5 on our list today. Coming in number 4, we have a card from one of the most hyped up sets of the year, Scarlet and Violet 151. This set has been booming. The sealed product has been through the roof. And here we have the Charizard EX Special Illustration Rare that was selling not that long ago for about $305, but in the past few months has climbed to an astounding $775 as a Gem Mint 10, over double the cost it was, like I said, just a few months ago. People just can't seem to get enough of the 151 set. It has so many great cards in it. This Charizard EX is the best card in the set and by far the most valuable. This is the number 4 pick on my list today. The number 3 card on the list today is an astounding one at that. It is the Pikachu Van Gogh promo card. This card, folks, by this time has to have over 30,000 PSA 10 examples. Yet the price just keeps climbing. A few months ago, we saw this card selling for around $187. And week after week, it just keeps getting higher and higher. Regardless of the population, this card now sells for over $400. Yeah, I've never seen a time in this hobby where population has meant nothing. This card is a shining example of that. This is the number 3 hottest card of 2024. The number 2 card that is absolutely on fire this year would have to be this Mew EX Special Illustration Rare from Paldean Fates. The Bubble Mew, if you will. This card was selling a few months ago for about $200 as a PSA 10, but more recently has almost quadrupled in value, selling for about $700. So 3.5 times as expensive as it was just a few months ago. This card is definitely the definition of fire right now in this hobby, and it's the number 2 hottest card of the year. Before we get to my number 1 hottest card of the year pick, we have to go over just a couple of honorable mentions. Here we have this illustration rare Eevee from Twilight Masquerade that has been climbing slowly but steadily in value, selling this past week for about $183. Here we have the Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike, was selling a few months ago for about $570, now sells for about $750. And then lastly, we have this Rayquaza VMAX from Evolving Skies that was selling a few months back for about $490, but the most recent sale was for about $760 as a PSA 10, which leads me to the number 1 card of the year. It just came out, but I do believe it's worthy. It is the Pikachu EX Special Illustration Rare from Surging Sparks. This card has been fire right out of the gate. No other card on our list has been selling like this card has, both raw and graded. Here are a couple of graded copies, a PSA 10 that just sold for $2,050, another PSA 10 that just sold for $2,750. And you've had numerous raw copies of this card selling for over $500. I don't even believe the Moonbryon was pulling these numbers back when it was released. So this Pikachu EX, I believe, is the hottest card of 2024. What do you think? Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you think I missed a card, let me know in the comments below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I think this is a pretty comprehensive list. So yeah, that's all I got today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in my next one.